Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we're going to be playing Akshan, and we'll be facing off against this Seraphine adventure. I didn't realize I still needed one more clear of the Seraphine adventure in order to progress to the hardest adventure they released. So I have to do another run. I decided on Akshan because I feel like it might be interesting. The countdown effects of our landmarks triggering twice means that the Warlord's Palace only gives us one relic of power, and the same thing happens to the Warlord Sword. But I think even in such a case we can still pull through. We're just running Laurent Blade Rack and Troll King's Crown because the board-wide keyword sharing is relevant, makes it so Akshan can pull the targets that he can kill instead of being blocked by something that straight up kills it. And the Troll King's Crown is good because our attack gets raised by a whole bunch because of the going rogue. And Spell Shield is just there to protect Akshan from removal. Rush them down, follow the wind, nothing but powder monkeys. Nothing but powder monkeys is decent, I guess. It just summons a unit every turn. Kind of works with our setup because it also gets buffed by the countdown on the landmarks. Yeah, let's take it. We can then use our rerolls later on for more important things, maybe the legendary power. Okay, let's see. The Absolver, Quicksand, Vicar and Vagabond. I'll keep the Quicksand and the Vicar and Vagabond. Toss everything else. Oh, we ended up transforming our one of our actions into something else. That's unfortunate.
I do not break rules, I bend them slightly.
Well, at the very least I'll get a good attack this turn in. And in turn I'll be able to solidify a board presence, which is going to be useful. I'll need it in order to not lose the action to something here. That's unfortunate. Fortunately, he didn't decide to attack right away. Otherwise, I might have ended up losing the action here to the challenger units.
Quick hands make quick work.
No attacks, really? That's an interesting decision by the opponent. I figured he would want to attack. Let's just drop down the Vicar and Bruiser, since it will be discarded at the end of the turn. Also, I fully intend to go time and dedication on the action here, properly level up, start working towards the Warlord Sword. It's unfortunate that we're just getting a zero cost spell alongside the Relic of Power. But it's okay, we'll manage. An Alain Play and an Alain Hand Spirit. It helps with counting down the Warlord Sword, so sure. And now we can work on potentially killing the opponent. Yeah, we did it. We actually managed to buff the attack of our units enough. Both the keywords actually came in handy that game. Overwhelm allowed us to close out the game there, instead of just clearing the opponent's board. And the challenger made it so we could actually attack into the correct targets. If you've leveled a champion, allies have +2/+0. Or Bloodthirsty Marauder. Voice of the Reason is a bit more expensive than what I would like normally in this deck, but the fact that we have a slower game plan because we don't get double the rewards of our Warlord's Palace might mean that this becomes relevant. Echo Jason Bessa. Echo's decent. But Ambessa allows us to go for more attacks actually, which is interesting. But card draw is good. I'll take the Ambessa. Seems like fun. Hey the Spirit. Enemies have impact too when you place slow spell copy and onto the same targets. I don't have slow spells at all because my grappling hook is actually burst speed. When you summon an ally, set itself to 1, round starts, summon the powder monkey. That's way too many powder monkeys, I think. Do I care more about an epic power or a rare power? I'm just going to reroll the epic. When an ally dies, grant its power to unit in hand. Allied champions cost 3 more. I think that messes up our game plan way too much, right? Because we really want to drop down action on 2 and go from there. Let's reroll again. Round start, you lose all spell mana, your epic cards cost 2 less. Do I have any epic cards in my deck? The Voice of the Reason. 2 mana Voice of the Reason is good. A shame that the Ambassa cards don't have an actual rarity. It would be relevant for this. I didn't really notice us using spell mana last game, so maybe this will be good. And now we can afford to draft a more epic skewed deck, if that's even a thing. What do I do here? Do I feel like I can take on the vicious enemy? I think so. Worst case scenario, I have 3 revives with action, so I'll have multiple attempts at the fight. There's no way I lose 3 times in a row. Let's toss those back. I'll keep the Tomb Raider, Barbara, and the Absolver. There's our action. We have a play for turn 4 as well, nice.
I do not break rules, I bend them slightly.
Jailbreak, okay. Do I attack right away or do I let the opponent summon something else? I'm going to attack right away. Let's do this. I actually messed up the ordering, I could have done 1 more damage there. It's fine. Now as long as the opponent doesn't summon a unit with Challenger, I'll be okay. Let's play the Vakar on the Safe Cracker, I suppose. Make it so that thing has 0 attack.
Why do they have so many legs?
Okay, the opponent doesn't attack. I feel like he is having a very slow set of turns. Here I can do the Voice of the Reason, or I can do Ambassa for double attacks. Let's do Voice of the Reason, because action is going to level up right away. And with the Voice of the Reason on board, I can deal more damage because of the board wide buff. You know what? Let's go for the kill here.
This
Now we
is
attack with
justice.
everything.
Quick and quiet.
We pull this one here. Can pull this one here, this here, and we have more than enough damage. Yeah, this setup has a lot of lethality, especially considering that the opponents don't really have a lot of max health. They have like 30 tops even for the last boss, I think. So that means that a good attacking turn just makes the opponents die. Do I want an inner sanctum? I'll get 1 lucky find and 3 other 0 cost spells. I suppose it's not the worst thing in the world. Take the gold. Let's go for the vicious enemy. See if I get a decent power after this encounter. Inner Sanctum, double Ambessa. I'll get an action guaranteed if I keep this hand. Yeah, I'll take it. I didn't realize it worked like that because I chose to keep the double Ambessa in my opening hand before the powers enter into effect. I actually get to keep the 2 Ambessas instead of having one of them be transformed.
This is justice.
Good to know.
My pretty.
Now, do I play the Ambessa this turn? Or do I do something different? I'll actually do this.
Watch the spiders do their work.
Why?
Turn
Why
that
do
to
they have
0
so
attack,
many
makes it
legs?
so it's less of a threat right now. Yeah, I figured that would happen. It's unfortunate that I have to trade in one of my units, because it means I can't go for a big attack this turn, or an attack that's as large as I wanted it to be. But it should still be fine.
Embrace your demise.
Ambessa grows by a lot here. Ooh, Thermogenic Beam, that's interesting. I don't think it will be relevant though. In this situation, Relic of Power actually adds more damage to the board.
In and out.
Then we can do this.
Embrace your demise.
Ensure that the Ambessa actually kills something in order to proc her effect.
Embrace your demise.
Now, do I want to attack again with the Ambessa or with the Akshan? What closes out the game here? Nothing, I think. So I guess I'll go with the Akshan.
Villains beware.
Actually, I forgot that the Ambessa had double excavator's charge, so she would get buffed up. Maybe I would have been able to close out the game if the Ambessa attacked there. Yeah, I'll just public execution here.
Embrace your demise.
Make it so I can attack this turn, while at the same time I get a midnight raid.
Pathetic pup. Die with honor.
Pull here, and game over. Okay, that wasn't as bad as I anticipated. Turns out picking the vicious enemy was the correct choice, because now I get an additional power for basically free. Flame Wreath Soul, Incisive Tactician, or Buckeye Reaper. I think Buckeye Reaper might be better, just because I don't think I proc Reputation that easily. Then again, I do buff up the attack of my units by quite a lot, so maybe the 6 mana rally is okay. Fixer Upper, Beagle Dust, Sprinkle, Titanic Wake. Let's take the Fixer Upper. buff up our action on board after the first turn. Spell and add 2 copies to your deck. None of these seem that appealing, and I don't want to spend a reroll here. And they're not epic as well. Wait, actually let me check something. The Incisive Tactician is a rare. For a second I thought he was going to be an epic and I would have a discount on it. Unfortunately, no. What do I cut here? Tomb Raider Barbara? Maybe. Maybe. Or the Vacoran Safecracker. On 4 it does fight for a spot on the curve with Mbessa. I'll cut the Vacoran Safecracker. As the fights get harder, I don't think the -2 attack will become relevant. It does contribute towards our level up and buffs up one of my units, but that's not enough. Now here, let's see. Quicksand, Rictus, Tomb Raider Barbara. I'll keep everything. Or I'll keep the Quicksand, toss everything else. I know for a fact Bard is going to have access to a bunch of keywords. Let's drop the reaction, go for our standard play here. If I do this, I'll actually be able to clear the Bard right away and remove the unit it just summoned, which is ideal. I don't have to worry about him having a Bard on board and getting double the benefit of the chimes he draws, if he levels up Bard, that is. I'll wait for the next turn on the Inner Sanctum, I guess. I think here I can actually develop a large board in order to set up a big attack turn next turn.
Quick hands make quick work.
Let's buff up the action again. Next turn the Warlord's Palace counts down by 1. And then I can play the Mbessa into the time and dedication, level up the action, level up, get rid of the Warlord's Palace, give everything +1 attack, and then go for a big attack. And hopefully that's enough to close out the game. There's no way it isn't. I mean, look at how massive my units are in terms of attack stat. And I would even be able to attack again with 1 unit thanks to Mbessa's effect. The game was more than over. Dragon Tooth, Quick Strike Blade, Giant Spelt. I think Dragon Tooth might be better. While Quick Strike Blade is tempting, if the opponent starts with something larger than the action on board, the action just dies, and I don't want that. And now I finally have access to the epic escapades, and I am incentivized to pick epic cards. No, I'm passing up a legendary power, especially Power Overwhelming. Since it got buffed, this is probably among the better legendary powers. Just giving everything +1/+1 is huge. When you play a card, deal damage to your next is equal to its cost. Your spells and skills deal double damage. I don't have spells and skills, so nope. Each round after you play 3 cards, your cast costs 3 more this round. We don't really do a lot of spell slinging. And we don't really play a lot of cards a turn, right? Except on our last turn, when you go for the big swing with the Warlord's Palace. We can afford to take a slower game in order to get an unstable inventory, I think. Field musicians or Plaza Guardian? Let's go for the field musicians. Either way, I'm getting the healer encounter after this fight in order to go ahead and remove one bad card from my deck. Though I'm not really sure what card would I even remove, considering my deck has a lot of very good cards.
I do not break rules, I bend them slightly.
My friend and I are toll collectors.
Just barely, but I was actually able to clear this unit with the action. That's very big. This attack sets up my future turns. Does the Powder Monkey get... Yes, it does. It gets buffs from the Power Overwhelming. And so do the units off of the portal. Epic Escapades reduces the cost of the public execution. Really? I guess it's coded as an epic card even though it's not showing the rarity gem. Which does make sense. This feels like an epic card. It's a bit awkward to use and somewhat clunky, so yeah, definitely an epic. Let's do this, get rid of the elusive.
You cannot run from absolution.
I actually procced the action level up here because I miscounted how much the landmark would count down. But it's okay. The opponent has no way to attack now, considering I have a pretty decent board. He did buff up his entire board, but here I can go Ambassa, time and dedication, and that's enough to close out the game. 1, 2, and then I get a third card to play off of the Ambassa.
Villains beware.
Do this, let's pull that there, this one pulls here, and this one pulls here. 24 damage. Ah, that's a bummer. I was actually going to be able to close out the game with the Ambassa's effect. But now the opponent delayed his death by 1 turn. And maybe even more, considering that he just developed a very big board. And he has priority on the attack this turn.
And a 1, 2, 3.
I'm going to have to go for the public execution in order to rally. First and foremost. Not if the opponent just straight up removes the unit I'm trying to kill off of the board though.
Give me a sweet bun. Tightens the senses.
This is very bad for me.
Got it.
I'm taking a bunch of damage here. Fortunately I have a bunch of revives and I have regeneration for in between encounter health restoration. But it still doesn't feel that great. I'm actually going to delay the Warlord Zord so that I get the effect on my turn. And now I'm just going to work on developing a big board.
We play for the people and
I'm going for the one Scryer 2, the Rictus as well. The opponent's wasting a lot of resources. Oh right, after the third card my cards cost more. I still think this is enough to close out the game though. The opponent didn't even bother with pulling or with defending.
One step closer to a world without villains.
Good. I actually managed to beat that encounter with minimal health loss. But I did mess up. I should have figured the other way to protect his unit. Do I want a more expensive Voice of the Reason? No, not really. The Yet Handler. It's not something that I want as well. So I guess we're picking up the exhaust. And now we have unstable inventory, which is huge as well. 2 legendary powers in a single run. How lucky. What do I cut here? I haven't seen the Incisive Tactician a single time this game. And our games aren't really going up to 6 mana, are they? But then again, exhaust isn't really that great, is it? I'll cut the exhaust. I was forced to pick it up anyway. All of this seem pretty bad. Quick draw. The cards you draw this round cost 1 less. I have the spare money, so why not? Let's just pick it up. Boros, spells chest. Anything I want here? No, I was just double checking. Tenor of Terror or Campunk Shredder? I think this spell's chest is better, so let's go for the Campunk Shredder. Rictus? No, let's toss everything. I'll keep the Quicksand just in case the opponent summons something with some tricky keywords. Ooh, action with Power Riff. That's huge. Can go for a big swing turn this turn. Let's do action. Actually, I should have done action last in order to get 1 more attack on my units. It's fine. Then we hit action with the time and dedication. Now we pull here, and we just deal 20 damage on the first turn. Seems fair. Next turn. Unfortunately, I don't have a way to close out the game next turn. But it would be fun if I did. If the action didn't get transformed, I'd actually be able to go Ambessa. No, I wouldn't. Never mind. I was thinking of going Ambessa into time and dedication into actions champion spell, the grappling hook to strike a unit and then get Ambessa's effect off. But not if the action transforms into an arachnoid horror.
Zon taught me to never let my guard down.
Sure. Let's use the Quicksand there. I'm not really seeing a better use for it. Let's actually delay the Warlord's Palace by 1 turn. Just so I can get it on the Ambessa, or the attack buff on the Ambessa as well. Ooh, Voidling. Neat.
You cannot run from absolution.
Ooh, right. Thanks to the Dragon Soul, the Ambessa procs the Warlord's Palace into leveling up. That's cool. Let's do this. I'm just going to go ahead and do this in a way that buffs up my units the most. And now the game's over. I mean, the game was over for a while now, but now it's really over. We deal way too much damage here. And we still would have been able to deal even more damage thanks to the midnight raid off of the Ambessa. Best, the Iron Conquest. Pick an allied follower, create an ephemeral copy of it in hand. Nah, none of these are that great. Rictus Might, Buried Armory. Treasure of the Sands. Nah. I'm picking the Might, but I'm getting rid of it right away on the healer encounter. Doubling Dice, Feral Prescience, Iterative Improvement, Sharpen Resolve. Even with the epic and the rare upgrades, I don't feel like taking those spells. They add nothing to our deck. And so does the Might. 3 mana for 3 attack and Overwhelm, when all of our units already have Overwhelm by default with action on board. And when all of our units get buffed up by a whole bunch by the landmarks ticking down, isn't really something that we need. Let's do action first, like usual.
Slightly.
I think I'm just going to go action into actually time and dedication, because the unit that I was planning on using to kill the Seraphine is now gone. That means I have to resort to using action. For mana, a current bruiser. Yeah, sure. We're taking this game slow. Or relatively so. So this is fine. I'm still killing the opponent on the second attacking turn, however. Pretty sure I can. Let's do the current Treasure Seeker. Really? Okay, I guess. Then we can go for current Vagabond, that counts down the landmark 2. I get Warlord Sword. Let's do the Relic of Power to buff everything.
Well, our fan club could really use a secretary.
And then we use the time in dedication. Keep counting down the landmark, which further improves our attack stat.
Faith is what I make.
And I think that's enough.
Beware.
I'm not counting though. Math is for blockers anyway. Perfect. That was a lot simpler than I anticipated. I figured it would be almost as hard as the Morgana run was, but I feel like the Morgana run is way harder. Yeah, I should have known. Nothing would beat the Morgana in terms of difficulty, because of the fact that Morgana's game plan gets completely skewed by this adventure's innate power. So of course action would be easier. But it was fun nonetheless. So yeah, that will be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Till then.